What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another live stream. No, this is not my mock draft. I'll be getting to that at some point tonight. But I was just scrolling through, looking for some free agency articles. And I noticed that Bill Barnwell posted a little game that I figured I'd, come on here and play with y'all. So it's called NFL Offseason Dominoes. You're probably thinking to yourself, what the hell is that? Well, pretty much here's how it goes. You have players, I believe there's 8, as we'll go through the guys that we will be kind of foreshadowing their offseason, maybe predicting where we think they could go, and then moves that will happen as a result. So let's get started. Of course, we got Tom Brady, the guy in the thumbnail, and each player has 3 teams that I guess they think he could go to. For instance, Tom Brady has the Bears, which would be rather interesting, the Chargers, and the Colts. Okay, then you have Jadeveon Clowney, who has the Giants, Raiders, and Ravens. Okay, that Ravens one would be kind of scary. You have Cam Newton, which now we know is low-key stupid because I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't know when this was made, but he has the Chargers, the Dolphins, and the Raiders. Again, this is hypothetical. I doubt any of these things happen, although you never know. AJ Green, which, again, we now know he will be staying in Cincinnati. That's the way it's looking. He has the 49ers, the Colts, and the Raiders. He, meaning Bill Barnwell. Then, of course, you have Melvin Gordon, and he's got the Bucks, Washington, and the Texans. So here's how this goes, all right? So, and then you have Phillip Rivers, Bucks, Colts, Panthers, and then you got Trent Williams, who, of course, has the Browns, of course, Dolphins, and Pats. And then you have Chris Harris Jr., who he's got the Chiefs, Jets, and Texans. So we're going to start off with Tom Brady. So you have 3 teams. Okay, let's see what would happen if he were to go to the Bears. So they have this little article here, mock little thing, talking about the Bears signed Tom Brady to a 4-year, $110 million deal. Okay, so then after that, the Bears trade Leonard Floyd to the Giants for a 6th-round pick. Okay. Then they have the Patriots trading a 3rd-round pick to the Panthers for Cam Newton. Okay, that's interesting, Bill. And then after that, Marcus Mariota signs a 2-year, $18 million deal with the Panthers. And then Teddy Bridgewater signs a 4-year, $120 million deal with the Colts. Okay. And then the Bears trade Mitch Trubisky to the Dolphins for Josh Rosen. And that is the end for that. So, yeah, that's pretty much like a domino effect. Yeah. Now, what would happen if Brady goes to the Chargers? So they have Brady to the Chargers, 5 years, $180 million. Okay. Rivers signs with Jacksonville on a 4-year, $100 million deal. All right. The Jags then trade Nick Foles to the Colts in a salary dump. And then the Colts package their 1st-round pick to trade up for Tua. And then Taysom Hill signs a 2-year deal with the Raiders, $20 million offer sheet. Okay. And then New England gives Teddy Bridgewater a 3-year, $60 million deal. Okay. And that's it for that. All right. So it starts with Brady going to the Chargers, and then it ends with New England signing Teddy Bridgewater. And then let's see what would happen if he went to the Colts. Brady gets a 4-year, $160 million deal from Indy. Okay. Patriots then trade their 1st-round picks to the Lions for Matthew Stafford, which I'm pretty sure that ain't happening now. Again, I do not know when this was made, but it was made recently enough. I know that. Bridgewater then signs a 2-year, $60 million deal with the Chargers. And then as a result of that, The Jaguars trade with the Dolphins to move up and draft Justin Herbert. Okay. And then the Eagles somehow acquire Nick Foles. Okay. That would be interesting. I can only imagine Eagles fans if that happened. Oh, God. And then the Saints sign Andy Dalton to a 1-year, $6 million deal. And then, of course, the Bengals draft Justin Herbert. I mean, not Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow. Stupid. Joe Burrow. Yeah. So then that is the end of that little scenario. So let's move on to the next guy, and that is Jadeveon Clowney. He has the Giants, the Raiders, and the Ravens. So let's see what happens if he were to go to the Giants. They have him $25 million per year to the Giants. Wow. Again, this is all like hypothetical. This probably obviously ain't happening right now. Fowler then signs a 4-year, $92 million deal with the Seahawks. Okay. The Panthers then add Bud Dupree on a 4-year, $64 million deal, which I'm pretty sure that is not happening because Bud Dupree is getting franchise tagged. That's what I heard. Michael Pierce then signs a 4-year, $60 million deal with the Dolphins. Ndamukong Suh goes to New England on a 1-year, $14 million deal. Then the Broncos signed TJ Reader, 4 years for $44 million, so that's $11 million a year. And then that is the end of that little scenario. Let's see what happens if he goes to the Raiders. Raiders signed Clowney to a 5-year, $125 million deal. Okay. Seattle trades 2nd and 3rd round picks to the Ravens for Matthew Judon. All right. Wow. The Giants bring back Jason Pierre-Paul on a 2-year, $32 million deal. Okay. Miami then signs Eric Armstead, which I am pretty sure that ain't happening either because, again, San Francisco's trying to franchise tag him. But in this little scenario, Miami signs Armstead to a 5-year, $80 million deal. Then the Dolphins add Danny Shelton on a 4-year, $28 million deal. The Chiefs franchise tag Chris Jones, then trade him to the Cowboys. And I guess they're talking about also them moving Tyrone Crawford. Then they have him going to Philly. So that's the end of that scenario. And now here comes the scariest one of all for me. Clowney goes to the Ravens. 5-year, $115 million deal. Clowney to the Ravens in this little scenario. Baltimore trades Judon to the Jets for a 2nd and a 5th. The Seattle signs Robert Quinn to a 4-year, $60 million deal. The Cowboys signed Vic Beasley to a 1-year, $16 million deal. Fowler signs a 5-year, $110 million deal with the Giants. And then the Bills signed Mario Addison to a 3-year, $42 million deal. And then that's the end of that scenario. So that's all the scenarios for Jadeveon Clowney. We pretty much already know Cam Newton's not going nowhere, so honestly, I'm just going to skip him. But they have the Chargers trading a second round. Yeah, well, Bill has the Chargers trading a 2nd-round pick to the Panthers for Cam Newton in the Chargers scenario. Carolina signs Taysom Hill. Nick Foles gets dumped and goes to Miami. Jacksonville then goes after and gets Andy Dalton after he's released. Patriots trade for Josh Rosen. Mariota, 2-year deal to the Eagles. Oh, God. That means after all these years, man. I remember Chip Kelly was trying to freaking trade up to get him. He finally gets him after all these years. 2 years, $14 million in this little scenario. For the Dolphins scenario, Fitzpatrick gets traded to the Panthers for Cam Newton. Oh, wow. Panthers then flip Fitzpatrick to the Eagles for a 5th. Lions trade Stafford to the Raiders for 2 first-rounders. That's never happening. Carr then signs with the Chargers on a 2-year, $50 million deal. Bridgewater re-signs with the Saints. Taysom Hill returns to New Orleans. Woohoo. And then if he were to go to the Raiders would trade a 3rd-round pick to Panthers for Cam Newton. Derek Carr signs a 1-year deal with Tennessee. Bridgewater signs a 3-year deal with the Panthers, $90 million. $30 million a year. Damn. Wow, that's crazy. Chargers then land Jameis Winston on a 3-year, $99 million deal. Okay. Bears sign Mariota to a 2-year, $14 million deal. Flacco goes to the Steelers to be a backup. That would be weird. 1-year, $3 million deal. Oh, God. Could you imagine if that would have happened? The scourge of Steeler fans' existence is their backup. Hey, Ben, who's your backup? Oh, Joe Flacco. Bruh, that would be weird. That would be so weird to see. But of course, again, these are hypothetical scenarios. They're most likely not happening, especially for Cam Newton, because I heard the Panthers really like him. So I don't think he'll be going anywhere. And then you have AJ Green, and I'm honestly not even going to waste time. But let's just go through it anyway. Niners, yeah, who cares? We're not going to look through that. We have the Melvin Gordon sweepstakes, Bucks, Washington, Texans. Gordon signs a 4-year, $36 million deal with the Bucks. Patriots send a third and a fifth. The Chargers for Eckler. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I don't think that would ever happen. I always think the Chargers love Eckler. McCoy signs a 1-year, $1 million deal with the Chargers. Wow. Burkhead gets cut, signs with the Lions from the Patriots. Falcons cut Devontae Freeman, who then goes to the Texans for 2 years. Kenyon Drake signs a 4-year deal in Washington. Now it's the end of that scenario. Let's say Melvin goes to Washington. 5 years, $50 million. Chargers add Kenyon Drake, 1-year, $8 million deal. Lamar Miller signs a 1-year, $2.5 million deal with the Dolphins. Wow, Lamar Miller and the Dolphins, nice. Bucks send a 7th-round pick to the Jets for Le'Veon Bell in a 4th. Bruh. Howard signs a 1-year deal with the Jets, $1.5 million. Bill signed Devontae Freeman to a 1-year, $3 million deal, and that's the end of that scenario. Final one for Gordon, Texans. Gordon goes to the Texans for a 5-year, $50 million deal. Chargers then sign Lamar Miller to a 1-year deal. So essentially they swap running backs. Okay. Drake signs a 3-year, $21 million deal with the Bucks. Atlanta cuts Devontae Freeman, who then signs a 1-year deal with the Dolphins. Seattle signs Jordan Howard, 1-year, $1.5 million deal. Jerick McKinnon gets a 1-year flyer with the Browns. That dude hasn't played in 2 years. Honestly, didn't he? Yeah, he played with the Vikings, didn't he? I mean, if he gets cut or something, I would not be shocked at all, especially if we somehow lose Kareem Hunt, which I don't think that's happening. But that would be something. You know, taking a flyer on a guy who hasn't played in 2 years. I mean, I wouldn't doubt Stefanski taking a flyer on a guy that he actually coached. Wouldn't surprise me. But again, this is a scenario. I do not think that's going to happen. But hey, I've seen crazier things happen. And I don't think this is really going to happen because I don't think Kareem Hunt's going anywhere. I think we're going to keep him around. Although I've heard rumblings that if we put a low enough tag or tender on Kareem Hunt's head, I think teams would be interested. But word on the grapevine is it'll possibly be like a 2nd-round tender on him. So we'll see what happens. Again, I can't confirm. So, yeah, that would be interesting. But again, I don't think that's happening. But like I said, it's the NFL. Anything can happen. So let's talk about good old Phillip Rivers, shall we? Old man Rivers. Going to the Bucks, 3-year, $90 million deal with an out. Minimal guaranteed money at the 2020, freeing up Bucks to pursue another quarterback in 2021 if it doesn't work out. That'd be interesting. Again, these are all scenarios. Bridgewater signs a 3-year, $90 million deal with the Chargers. Okay. Baltimore trades for Tyrod Taylor. Okay. What's better than 1 running quarterback? How about 2? Raiders use their draft capital to trade up for Tua. Oh, man, Tua in Las Vegas? Ooh, the Raiders? Ooh, okay. Jameis Winston goes 1 year, $9 million deal to Chicago. And then, Trubisky's backup Chase Daniel can return to Kansas City to sit behind Mahomes. Okay. Packers add Joe Flacco to be their backup on a 1 year, $4 million deal. And that's the end of that scenario. Not too bad. Take a look at the Colts. This is probably one of the most likely scenarios right here. Although you never know what could happen. Colts give Rivers 2 year, $62 million deal to be their starter. As a result, Indy adds some help and signs Austin Hooper to a 4 year, $44 million deal. And I'm guessing Ebron goes to Green Bay as a result as well. Vikings trade Kirk Cousins to the Chargers for a second-round pick. Really, Bill Barnwell? You think that could happen? That's a hypothetical scenario? No, I don't know about that, Chief. Bridgewater reunites with Minnesota on a $100 million deal, bro. Crazy. Bills give Taysom Hill a 2 year, $20 million offer sheet. Mariota heads to New Orleans on a 3 year, $21 million deal, and then that's the end of that scenario. And then for the Panthers, they sign Phillip Rivers to a 3 year, $96 million deal. Mariota signs with the Chargers on a 1 year, $12 million deal. Carolina trades Cam Newton to the Broncos for a third-round pick. Yeah, you can just tell these are all like probably not happening. They're just having some fun, I guess, you know. But yeah, Newton to the Broncos for a third-round pick. According to this thing, Rivers goes to Panthers, and then Carolina trades Newton to the Broncos as a result. Okay. Winston goes to the Dolphins, 4 years, $128 million. Tampa Bay gives Joe Flacco a 1 year deal to be its short-term starter. Buccaneers trade up to draft Justin Herbert, top 5. Okay. I love these freaking scenarios. Now here comes, well, arguably one of my favorite ones, Trent Williams. I'm actually surprised we haven't really heard much of him recently, although I have heard that he has spoken to Rivera, and as you'd expect, he don't want to play for Washington. He wants the hell out. And of course, in case you've been living under a rock for the past several months, the Browns really tried like hell to trade for it, Trent Williams last year. Like they tried really, really hard up until the final moments of the trade deadline. And as we know, that was unsuccessful. And I'm pretty sure Trent has still come out and said that he is not playing for Washington. Hell no. And of course, we need a left tackle, being as our current left tackle, or I guess our former left tackle, who is now a free agent. He won't be going anywhere anytime soon because, in case you didn't hear, he got busted with the weed. In fact, over 157, I believe, pounds of that good. Greg, what are you doing? Why are you... What? Oh, Greg Robinson, bro. Oh, God. I mean, he's a free agent anyway. I mean, we weren't going to keep him around. But damn, bro. 157 pounds of weed. Like, what do you say in that situation? You know, the cop sees these duffel bags. He's like, "What's in these bags?" I don't know. I'm off topic a little bit, but you know, having some fun. But he opens the duffel bags. Smells like weed. Is this yours? And he's like, "It's not mine." Well, Greg, who else? I mean, it's only you and this other gentleman, Quan Bray, I guess. So it's one of yours, guys, right? They're like, "Nah." I'm pretty sure. I can only imagine what went through their heads. It's not mine. Like 157 pounds. Like, it's one thing to have a little bit, 2 ounces, little baggie. These guys had multiple duffel bags worth of weed. Man. Oh, well, we won't be seeing him for a while. That's for sure. But anyways, in this scenario, the first team he has listed with Trent Williams is the Browns. Of course. Like I mentioned, we tried to trade for him pretty much the entire season last year. Didn't work out. Well, in this scenario, he has us trading a second-round pick for Trent Williams. And then as a result, the Colts signed Jason Peters to a 1-year, $8 million deal. I don't think that's going to work. And then Jack Conklin goes to the Dolphins, 5 years, $70 million. Miami adds Andrus Peat on a 5-year, $60 million deal as well. Lions signed Joe Thuney to a 4-year, $36 million deal. Panthers then signed Kelechi Osemele, 1-year deal. Okay, and then that's the end of that scenario. It honestly would not surprise me if we traded for Trent Williams, but I don't think it'll happen. I'd rather go with a younger guy from this rookie class coming up like Andrew Thomas. But yeah, I mean, knowing the Browns, it wouldn't surprise me if they traded for Trent. But let's see. Trent Williams goes to the Dolphins. 26th pick for Trent and a second-round pick. Nice. Ron Leary goes to the Browns. Oh, Ronald Leary? That's a name I haven't really heard much of. Wow. Bill's going bold here. 1 year, $4 million deal with Ronald Leary. Okay. Colts trade a 4th-round pick to the Bengals for Cordy Glenn. By the way, I heard that the Bengals are trying to get rid of him, so we'll see if he goes anywhere. Jets signed DJ Humphries. I believe he is actually franchise tagged or signed, extended or whatever, so he's obviously off the board. 4 years, $56 million deal. Ben Garland to the Jets, 3 years, $18 million. Balaga coming to the Browns, 4-year, $48 million. That would actually be really, really good. I mean, if we can't get Conklin, get Brian Bulaga. That would be a really, really good move. And then, of course, you'd have to get rid of Chris Hubbard because, honestly, he's mediocre. I mean, he wasn't trash. He was just mediocre. He was meh. Meh. I mean, he didn't get embarrassed all the time like Greg did, mostly. But damn, bro. I thought I'm still wondering, why did we sign Chris Hubbard to that much money? You know? I mean, he's all right, serviceable, but we're paying him freaking crazy amount of money. He's mid. He's mid. Yeah, he's mid. But that is Balaga to the Browns, $48 million deal, 4 years. Okay. Again, these are hypothetical scenarios. So in this scenario, we wind up with Ronald Leary, who will most likely be our right guard, 1 year, $4 million, and then Brian Balaga, who would then be our right tackle. And then you'd probably draft a left tackle, and boom, there you go. So this would be our offensive line in this scenario, according to what I'm thinking. Andrew Thomas, because that's my guy. That's I guess you could say that's my number one target right there, or worse. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to say Andrew Thomas. Thomas, Bitonio. That sounds so weird to say Thomas and Bitonio again, bro. Andrew Thomas, Gerard Bitonio, J.C. Treader, Ronald Leary, and then Brian Balaga. Not horrible. Definitely not the worst I've ever seen. And then this one they have him going to the Patriots. Patriots trade their top pick for Trent Williams and a second. Andrus Peat goes 5 years, $60 million deal to Washington. Bears signed Quentin Spain, 3-year, $21 million deal. Giants signed Jermaine Ifedi to a 4-year, $40 million deal. Jack Conklin, 5 years, $80 million deal to the Jets. Broncos trade up from number 15 to 7 to draft Andrew Thomas. And the crazy thing is that could probably happen. But that's that scenario. So, yeah, that's a Trent Williams scenario. Now let's look at the final one. This is Chris Harris Jr. And in this scenario, he has the Chiefs, Jets, and Texans. First one with the Chiefs. By the way, the Broncos traded for A.J. Bouye, so it pretty much means that Harris is most likely gone. So yeah, this first scenario, Chiefs sign Harris to a 4 year, 40. Damn, I can't even talk, bruh. 4 years, $48 million deal. Rashad Breeland goes to the Dolphins, 4 years, $40 million. Miami cuts Rashad Jones, who signs a 2 year, $11 million deal with the Bucs. The Jets sign Logan Ryan to a 3 year, $42 million deal. Eagles signed their legend Patrick Robinson to a 1 year, $2 million deal. Postseason legend in Philly. Yeah. And then they signed, this would be, dude, if this would have happened, how Eagles fans would feel with this one. Eagles sign Xavier Rhodes to a 1 year, $3.5 million deal. Imagine if that would have happened in real life. I wonder how Eagles fans would feel. I'm pretty sure there'd be some that would be hyped. Some would be mad because all they see is Nnamdi Asomugha. Yeah, I know a lot of Eagles fans are kind of skeptical about signing a free agent corner because of Nnamdi. He was amazing in Oakland, and then he went to Philly and just completely fell off. Xavier Rhodes would actually, low key, if they get rid of Xavier, I could see us looking at him. Move Greedy to the slot. I could see us looking at freaking Chris Harris, put him in the slot. Who knows? But low key, though, Denzel Ward, Greedy, and Chris Harris would be insane. And obviously, we have Joe Woods, a guy he's familiar with. Screw it. Go get Chris Harris Jr., my guy. Go get him, Andrew. Go get him, Barry. Now here's one with the Jets. 4 years, $62 million deal with the Jets for Chris Harris Jr. in this scenario. The Giants land Trumaine Johnson on a 1 year, $4 million deal. Man, I remember when we were all over him a couple years ago. I really wanted him. And then he went to the Jets and just completely fell on his face. Stunk. Trash. Maybe he could rebound in that scenario with the Giants. Breeland goes to the Broncos, 3 year, $30 million deal. Eagles sign, oh God, Eli Apple, 1 year, $5 million deal in this scenario. And then they signed Brian Poole to a 3 year deal, $18 million. And then Byron Jones signs a 5 year, $60 million deal with the Raiders. So again, the Eagles strike twice with Brian Poole and Eli Apple in this scenario. I'm pretty sure Eagles fans would be kind of like, why? Why? Eli Apple sucks. Then Byron Jones going to the Raiders. That would actually be really nice for them. And then the final scenario for that is the Houston Texans. Harris to the Texans, 4 years, $56 million deal. We signed Bradley Roby, 3 years, $30 million, $33 million. Okay. I like Bradley Roby. He's an Ohio State legend, one of the best corners at Ohio State. Of course, you have Marshawn Lattimore, my guy Denzel Ward. Damn. Denzel and Bradley Roby? Can't go wrong with Bradley Roby. I mean, he all right. Not saying he's, Revis Island, but he all right. I would not mind him. Washington cuts Josh Norman, who signs a 1 year deal with the Bills. I'm pretty sure this was made well before Norman was cut, because I believe he was indeed released, and they have him signing with the Bills. That would be interesting. And then Jets cut Trumaine Johnson, who goes 1 year with the Vikings. Byron Jones. Oh, damn. Jaguars fans would love this. Byron Jones, 4 years, $48 million deal with the Jaguars. By the way, like I said, they just traded away AJ Bouye. Low-key rhyming. Aqib Talib, 1 year, $3 million deal with the 49ers. Damn, you'd have Talib and Sherman? Okay. Two corners who talk an immense amount of trash. Damn. And then that is the end of that scenario. Okay, so that's it. You know what, just for lulz, let's take a look at this other story about talking about bold offseason predictions for all 32 teams. Let's see if this is an actual story or is this an insider story. I believe this is a legit thing. So let's see what they got for the Browns. I don't really care about every other team. Let's see what they got for us. Let's see what our bold prediction is. When was this published? Oh, February 5th. Okay, so this is relatively recent. It's not, from like December or something. So that's good. Let's see what they got for us. Because again, I don't really care for any other team. You guys could always just pop on over to this. But a bold offseason prediction for the Browns. Does it have something to do with Odell Beckham? Probably. Being as that's all they talk about with us. Odell Beckham. Yep. It's pretty much all they talk about with us. And I'll get chat here in a minute. Let me see if anyone's popping in the chat. Oh, damn, it is popping in here. I'm not even been looking at the chat at all. Tyler Boers, what's going on? Who do I think is going to win the XFL National Championship? Houston. What's up, Steele? Jets ain't giving up. Bell, they already said it. Yeah, check out. Okay. Uh-huh. Because you got to smoke some weed. Duh. Hope we get Mariota would actually not be a horrible choice for the Browns. Low key. What's up, Tom? Or Tom. I say Tom. I don't know why I said Tom. Bro. Looking at this dude's freaking name right off the bat, it looked like it was Tom Sports. But what's up, Tom Sport? Everybody in this chat, would you mind dropping me a sub? I'm 4 away from 100. Hey. Yeah, there's no news about the Patriots. So, okay, let's just go through all these teams. So, Bills signed Tre'Davious White, market-setting contract, okay. Ngakwe deal done, which that didn't happen, and we now know. Colts attempt to move up from 13 in the first round of the draft. Tua. Texans will let nose tackle DJ Reader walk. Steelers will add a veteran quarterback. We will add 2 starting tackles. Oh, really? You don't say. That has to be the easiest prediction ever. Of course, we're going to add 2 tackles. This offensive line is going to look pretty much different. Maybe 3/5 of our offensive line could be different. I mean, we'll see what happens at guard. I'm sure they'll give Wyatt Teller and Drew Forbes a fair shot to win that job. But I would not be surprised if they went after a Joe Thuney. I mean, of course, I've already made a video talking about them actively trying to pursue him. They're probably going to pursue him. Of course, they were looking at possibly going after Brandon Scherf, but word on the street is he's getting tagged. So that is not happening. But damn, could you just imagine if we ended up with like Thuney, with Batonio, and then Shredder in the interior, and then you maybe draft Thomas, and then maybe you sign Balaga, or heck, Conklin. Like I said in my video, though, last night, we're probably only going to get one of either Thuney or Conklin. I don't think we're going to get them both unless Andrew Berry is willing to fork over huge amounts of money to 2 offensive linemen, which we really need them. But, we'll see what Berry does with this money. He said he'll be a very aggressive, he'll be very aggressive in free agency and stuff. So we'll see how aggressive he is. Bengals' bold prediction is Mixon will get a $45 million guaranteed in a contract extension. Ravens will sign Calais Campbell in free agency. Ooh, wow. Jamal Adams will not receive a new contract before the start of the season. Patriots will be aggressive at tight end. Yeah, because they need to give their quarterback, whether Tom Brady or whoever, they need to give him a reliable option at tight end. Some people say Hunter Henry or Hooper. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They're probably going to draft one if they don't get those 2. Dolphins will trade up to draft Tua. Yeah, if they really want him. Of course, I've already talked about the Bills. Let's go down now. So, of course, I already talked about the South. Jags will get a deal done with Ngakwe, which that is not happening now. Titans will sign Ryan Tannehill and running back Derrick Henry without using the franchise or transition tags. Denver will be the most active team in the offseason, which you've already known. They've already made a trade, acquiring Bouye from the Jaguars for a 4th-round pick. Kansas City will keep their 1st-round pick. Chargers will draft a quarterback in the 1st round. Raiders will stand pat with Derek Carr at quarterback. And then in the NFC, Witten will play a 17th season, but it won't be with the Cowboys. Ooh. Dave Gettleman will trade down in the draft for the first time with the Giants. That would be interesting. Wouldn't surprise me. Eagles will make a splash move at corner. Redskins will draft defensive end Chase Young and still hold onto Ryan Kerrigan by giving him a contract extension. The Bears will acquire an experienced backup quarterback to push Mitchell Trubisky. I'm thinking Andy Dalton. The Lions will trade down to number 5 in the draft and still take Okudah. I saw a video from Jaganoff earlier today. Shout out to Jaganoff, my guy, Jaguars fan. This dude really came out and said Jeff Okudah. I honestly love watching people like try to pronounce names. I mean, I do it all the time. You guys heard me all the time freaking butchering names. Okudah. Oduki. I mean, we had freaking Stephen Rose calling freaking, what was he calling Yannick Ngakoue? Something crazy. I've heard people say Yannick Ngakoue, and I'm just like, it's not how you say it. I'm not going to be grammar police, but that's just funny how Jackonoff said Okudah. It's Okudah. If you guys, in case you don't know how to say his name, it's Okudah. For all my classic car enthusiasts out there, you guys have probably heard of the Hemi Cuda, right? The classic car, muscle car. Well, Okudah. That's how I say his name. Okay. Just thought I should know. Let you know. Packers will finally draft a receiver in the first round. Mike Zimmer will hand over defensive play calling duties for the Vikings. In the NFC South, the Falcons will lose Austin Hooper to the Packers. Panthers will sign Saints backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater and trade or release Cam Newton. I don't think that's happening, especially now. Alvin Kamara will miss much of the offseason in a contract holdout for the Saints. Ooh. Bucks won't have a new deal for Jameis Winston before March. Well, it's March now, so we'll see what happens. Cardinals will part ways with David Johnson, who was once considered the future face of the franchise. Oh, how times have changed. Rams, in a pinch to find space under the salary cap, the Rams will attempt to trade Todd Gurley. Never thought you'd see that, huh? The Niners will make George Kittle the NFL's highest paid tight end by a lot. And then finally, you have the Seahawks will not re-sign Jadeveon Clowney. I think we already knew that. So that is pretty much it for that. And that's pretty much it for this live stream. I'll be live in a little while, to do my mock draft. I was going to do it right now, but, I saw this little article talking about some, scenarios, and I figured I'd have a little bit of fun. So with that being said, I will see you guys in maybe like 5 or 10 minutes for my second Browns 4-round mock draft of the offseason. And tomorrow I will be doing my first full first-round mock draft. So that'll be fun. But until then, I'm Crazy Dog, and I'll see you in a little while. What's up, Philip Lindsay? I feel like Bridgewater will be the Patriots quarterback if Brady leaves. That's possible. I don't think so. I don't think Gurley is getting traded right now. I haven't heard anything, but who knows? So that's going to wrap it up. I'll see you guys in about 5 or so minutes. So until then, I'm Crazy Dog. Patriots need to get Cole Kmet. What's going on with Derek Carr? A whole lot of things. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes, all right? So I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Browns. And I'm out.